Evolution. Sports Talk Television live here nightly. All Bucs report. It's the Sports Lab. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of the Sports Web. And at halftime, live from the Deck Bar and Grill, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers up over the Minnesota Vikings 17-6. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, best of the Bay, Cup of Ray. What do you say? And of course, Harry the Greek here. And largely that first quarter, what we kind of talked about with this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team getting off to a fast start, that didn't happen. In fact, the Vikings really dominated that first quarter, if you will, with Dalvin Cook nearly over 100 yards of rushing. And then with that being said, it all changes with the big play to Scotty Miller, 48 yards from Tom Brady, a perfectly placed pass. Perfect.
Yeah, and we talked about, and of course, I mentioned that you're going to take Minnesota's best hit and see how the Bucs come back. They have come back, but again, you made the point in the pregame show, and I wish the Bucs would just have a better way of getting a better or a faster start, because not all teams are going to lay down like the Vikings did there in the second quarter.
And we talked about the victim of volume in Ronald Jones, 11 carries for 33 yards, including a touchdown. The commitment to the run is evident, although I like to see them not run as much on first down, because I think, basically the Vikings are starting to pick up on that tendency. But if they start to do that, then that's when you can move in that pass play action.
I absolutely agree, but it was really refreshing to see them give the ball to Ronald Jones on 3rd and 3 and pick up the first down, and on 3rd and 1.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Brady in this game, 9 for 14, 131 yards, 1 touchdown. Of course, we talked about it with Miller, but right before the half, the Vikings shoot themselves in the foot, as they've done all day long. Dan Bailey might be looking for a new job after this. 2 missed field goals, including an extra point, has really put the Bucs back into this game. But a critical penalty, a critical mistake right after the half, give the Bucs the ball at the 1-yard line. Do you agree with the play call to go for the 19-yard field goal by Ryan Suckup, or would you try to punch it in at the 1-yard line?
No, total boss move. Put you up by 2 scores, but more importantly, instead, you and I were saying, okay, do we hand it to Rojo? I said, no, Tom Brady keeper. Do we don't want to see him throw the ball? Total boss move, up by 2 scores, instead of giving them momentum into the halftime by stopping you on 1st and goal and then feeling like they got away with 1. You put 3 on the board, you walk into the locker room with your heads held high.
So the Bucs at halftime are leading the Minnesota Vikings 17-6. I'm your host, Peter Blake, live from the Deck Bar and Grill. Great food, great service, along with my co-host, Mr. Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy, best of the Bay. Of course, Harry the Greek here. Scores around the league, my friend.
Oh, Houston at Chicago. Chicago's winning 23-7, 26 seconds left to go.
Okay.
Wow.
Denver over Carolina at halftime, 13-7. Dallas up 17-7, just started the third quarter. Tennessee at Jacksonville, Tennessee 17-3. Kansas City 14-10 at Miami in the half. And right now, Arizona Cardinals up 13-0 over the Giants.
So who's Dallas? Okay, so the Giants are still trying to win the NFC East. And Arizona, we don't want them to win in the playoff picture. Of course, if we win, we're in control of our own destiny. Who's Dallas playing, though, Harry the Greek?
Dallas,
Cincinnati Bengals.
They're playing Cincinnati. They're up 17-7.
Yeah, so they should win that game easily. You look at Kirk Cousins in this game, Harry, 10 for 15, 97 yards. Sue having a big game, 1 sack, couple quarterback hits, really needed to step up. You also have Shaq Barrett, who got after it, and that was the key to the game plan, as we talked about in the pregame show. If you get that pressure from that front 7, you're pretty good.
Without question. They need to clean up the poor tackling, though. Okay,
And that's been a problem the last couple of weeks. You've noticed it.
Yeah, but I don't see that happening in the second half. I think Minnesota has given them their best, just like I said.
Yeah.
In the beginning part of the game, now it's time for Tampa's defense to take over.
Absolutely, and you talk about it. We talked about it also in the pre-show with Carlton Davis making a very good play, very headsy play. It looked like Jefferson had the separation, had both players in Winfield and Davis beat, but Davis recovers and knocks the ball away. So tremendous play, and that was a player that was criticized the last couple of weeks. He comes out and plays hard.
And we said it. How many times this year have we said for the Buccaneers, turn around and look at the football. Watch for the football. There's Carlton Davis, not only playing a football, he molested that football, got that pass incomplete, and that was a big breaker because at that point, guys, the momentum had yet turned, and you didn't want Minnesota to get that big pass play.
Now, we talked about this situation when the Vikings are down, you basically make them a one-dimensional football team. In your opinion, with Cook doing so well, do you think this offense will give up on the running game, or do you think they're going to still continue to give it to Cook in those running back situations, or do they go fully one-dimensional with Kirk Cousins, and is that an advantage to this Bucs defense, Harry?
I think it's going to be a definite advantage, Peter.
Okay.
I think Minnesota is going to try to go and start chucking the ball around the field a little bit. They can't afford, especially if Tampa scores coming out in the third quarter, that's going to force Minnesota to go pass, and it's really going to put them right there. By the way, second half line, Tampa's -2.5. The total is 24.5. Bet the under.
Oh, yeah? Bet the under?
Bet the under and take Tampa -2.5. I do not see Minnesota really getting that much momentum.
And I feel like Harry and Ray, the Minnesota Vikings have given the Bucs every opportunity with those missed opportunities. And then, of course, the penalty there, Harrison Smith, helmet-to-helmet shot on LaShawn McCoy extends the drive. You can't do that, even with an offense that's struggling. Once again, we were going to be coming on this show and talking about all the 3-and-outs, and Brady misses Godwin. But when you do that, you basically are a bad team. And right now, the Vikings clearly look like the worst team here. They look like the bad team here, relating to the Bucs.
Well, let me finish that thought because I like that. And I go back to going for that field goal right there before the half is that, and we've questioned this. Who knew it was fourth down? Who's supposed to tell Tom Brady it's fourth down? Remember that game? Who's making these calls? Who's managing his clock? Who's calling these plays? And the Buccaneers, not only do they get the breaks from the Minnesota Vikings, but then again, they get the ball first and goal from the one on one untimed down, but they go ahead and put it up through the uprights to go up 2 scores. That's some of the best coaching decisions we've seen so far this year. Maybe that's one of the top ones I've really liked.
And then on top of it, you have no big plays. It seemed like, they were definitely a victim of big plays last week or a couple weeks ago from the Chiefs with Tyreek Hill. You don't have those big plays that you're giving up to Jefferson and Thielen. That's encouraging by this Bucs, not only front end, but back end.
That was exactly what I was talking about. They are going to play into the Buccaneers' defensive scheme. This is a perfect scheme against the Minnesota Vikings. They're playing stout enough on defense to try to stop the running game. I don't like the yards that they're giving up on the ground. However, they have basically nullified Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen in this game. They're still going to get their catches, but they're not going to get burned deep because they're getting safety help.
Yeah, you're getting safety help, and I tell you right now, I don't see a lot of blitzes there. So once again, JPP, Shaq, they're getting there. That's what you have to do. That's what Coach Arians and Todd Bowles talked about in their press conferences. When you're getting home, if you're blitzing, get home. But if you're not blitzing, you still got to get home because, again, you take the pressure off of your back end.
Just got to continue to see them. And what I've seen so far in the first half of this defense, and I want to see it continuing in the second half, is playing with that sense of urgency.
So that's your biggest key to the second half for the Bucs to continue with this lead, 17-6?
Yeah, that, and then continue making good coaching decisions because they've made some effort. That it's 3rd and 3, and you go for a 30-yarder down to Godwin, and it's incomplete. I'm just saying.
Well, look, he was wide open. To be fair, it was a bad throw by Brady.
Let me ask you this, though, honestly. You get that 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. You're only up by 7 points. Does going for a field goal, does that follow the no risk it, no biscuit philosophy?
No, it doesn't.
But that's good coaching, isn't it?
I think so because, look, if you get stopped there, it may be conservative to some people. But, look, if you get stopped there and the people are like, well, why didn't you take the points? You take the points, and now you're up 17-6.
Momentum.
Biggest adjustment for you, Harry the Greek, on the second half for the Bucs to win this game versus the Minnesota Vikings.
Going to be unpopular. I want to see a nice, boring game in the second half offensively. I want to see them pound the rock, conserve the football, don't risk so many injuries, and I think the passing game is going to open up for him.
That's because he played the under.
Absolutely.
Run
the ball. You have the lead. Take care of it right now. Brady, no interceptions, no turnovers. Bucs winning 17-6 for the great Tampa Bay. Ray Kennedy, best of the Bay. For Harry the Greek, I'm your host, Peter Blake. Enjoy the second half of your ball game. This is the Sports Web, the evolution. Sports Talk Television, live from the Deck Bar and Grill, powered by 320solar.com. See you on the post game. On tonight's show, bring your passion, bring your excitement, just don't bring any nonsense. Will you shut up and be quiet?